Let's get Alchemy 100 as quickly as possible. Welcome back to Gadabud. I've now taken Alchemy to 100 twice, and I've tried a lot of different things, and I've learned a lot of stuff. And to begin this, I want to just spew facts at you so that you know how this stuff works, because there's a lot of kind of weird quirks on Alchemy in this game, and I think I've got pretty much all of them down. Fact number one. Your rate of skilling up in Alchemy is only impacted by your current level in Alchemy. The quality of the potion has no impact. The selected recipe has no impact. And you're even doing yourself a disservice if you use more than 2 ingredients to produce the potion. Furthermore, the level of your gear does not impact it either, and does not have a significant enough impact on the gold value of the potion produced to tell you to wait to get the master stuff. I just took it all the way to 100 using apprentice stuff, and it was very easy and effective, and I recommend you do that. And I have proven this by testing novice versus master on my original climb to 100, and I'm not going to bore you with the results of the test. Just trust me on this one. Fact number 2, the quality and duration of the potions produced is roughly double when you jump from apprentice to master grade gear. Fact number 3, the rate in which you skill up is based on your current level of alchemy. And if you do anything to boost your alchemy level, like approaching this table right here in Frostcrag Spire and artificially raising it, you will get less experience per potion, and it negatively impacts your grind to 100. And in some worst cases, should you hit level 85 without this table in play, it thinks you're level 100 and will stop giving you skill ups altogether. And fact number 4 on that note, the table, once you hit level 100, doesn't help you at all. Your potions aren't any better. So that brings me to fact number 5. The table is generally useless, and you actually shouldn't use it, which is kind of surprising. Fact number 6, as of recording this video, duplication glitches do exist. I don't know them because I don't watch other people's videos. But if that's what you want to do, if you dupe stuff, you will very quickly hit level 100. With those facts in mind, what is the most efficient way to get to level 100? Well, you need to get to level 75 first when Alchemy reveals all 4 of the properties of an ingredient. And to get to 75 without a doubt, you can do it efficiently spamming one location that has 90 tomatoes and over 120 grapes, and you can make Restore Fatigue potions. You can take Alchemy to 100 just outside of Skingrad. There is a field here with 120 something grapes on both sides of the road, and they respawn every 72 hours. And I just come here periodically and clean the field out. And once you have collected all the grapes, head east along the city wall. And a wolf will start chasing you, or a rat right there, or possibly something greater if you're higher level. But there's this field of tomatoes on the other side of the city. After clearing out that field, you will have 90 tomatoes and 120-ish grapes. I always miss a few grapes. There's a little over 120. And you could, in the middle of this field, just on the spot, open up Alchemy, and just press square a ton. And take alchemy up quite a bit of levels, especially if you're low level. If you want to really do this efficiently, you should hit up this field every 72 hours and just start stockpiling grapes and tomatoes and just play the game. Let this field refresh on its own. I don't want to be tending this field for an hour straight gathering materials. And there's a couple of other locations that you can also hit up efficiently, and I want to highlight a couple of those, and you should be stockpiling those materials as well. The two obvious locations are the replenishing alchemy gardens in two of the high-end residences, Deepscorn Hollow being one, and then our home base, Frostcrag Spire, as well. Additionally, this farm, Drakelow, has a good source of blackberries, and that's for a potion later on that I'm very fond of. I recommend unlocking Drakelow. And then lastly, we need to check out the Arcane University real quick. Once you've unlocked the ability to go in the backyard by doing all the recommendation quests, there is a ton of materials all along the two walls right here, and then in all of these
Recall
nooks.
my hypothesis? The one I mentioned the other day? I'll have you know, I was right. And to think you actually...
And doing a sweep of this area periodically is also a very, very good idea. I've been gathering these tomatoes and grapes for a long time. There are way more grapes than there are tomatoes, so I'm going to go in my crate and find anything fatigue. These are some of the lower quality materials I had sitting in that chest. I want to empty the grapes. With just a few visits to that farm, cleaning it out, and a couple of other supplemental materials, I took alchemy all the way to 77, and I have a very large inventory of valuable potions now, and my mercantile skill, which is right now at 52, is going to skyrocket. So I'm going to head to a mage's guild because that's where I have the best disposition and I can get the best deal. And I'm going to unload all of this, starting at the bottom, lowest value first.
You got a great deal there.
And I'm going to haggle up as this goes through. And once we start getting into the more valuable ones, the mercantile skill is going to start raising rapidly because I've proven in several tests that it's directly correlated to the value of the item you're selling, and you don't have to sell one at a time anymore. After unloading all of those potions, and then also 30 poison apples that I had in my inventory, mercantile skills up to 65. So as a byproduct, you're going to level up mercantile very quickly doing this. And we haven't even gotten into the real grind with the very high value potions. So even now at this level of alchemy, I'm still heading back to the grape farm. And I'll tell you why. Just running through this farm every 72 hours and then mindlessly mashing square almost 100 times ends up getting me to 100 way faster than the way that I originally did this. And what I used to do was I would go through and systematically go through all of those materials that I had been hoarding, and I would try to pick out materials that were less valuable for effects that were less valuable, spam those first, and then start making potions I actually wanted. And it just took so long. I sat here recording that for over an hour. And I had the most bloated inventory. And it was even a task just to unload some of it on merchants. Like, which ones do I want to keep? Which ones do I want to get rid of? And the time investment just didn't make sense anymore to me after really thinking about this. This goes against everything I thought this process would be like. But I'd rather just sit here and do this instead. So I got 3 or 4 more alchemy levels for one trip to that farm at the high level. I just did a stopwatch to see how long this entire process takes. And it's about 6 minutes and 30 seconds to 7 minutes, depending on how fast you run through these fields. And you get about 3 to 4 levels per iteration at the higher end of alchemy. So let's say you take 7 minutes to do this. You need to go from 75 to 100. Let's say worst case you only get 3 levels per iteration. You could clean out these fields 8 times in about 45 minutes, and you will get your final 25 levels of alchemy. Now, I'll tell you, since I've been hoarding all those materials, those final levels, making different potions, I think is a good way for me to spend my time. I don't want to do this for 30 more minutes. I'm going to head to the tower, empty my chest of everything, and I'm going to make stuff other than these potions right here, but I'm going to get rid of them first at a merchant. As I mentioned, I had been visiting all those various locations many times over my playthrough so far, and this chest was full of a ton of materials. And once hitting about 87, at that point, given the number that I had hoarded here, I felt like it did make sense to go through and at least get rid of some really useless stuff and very low value things that I wouldn't have really missed at a higher level. But I wanted to save a lot of my really important and hard to get ingredients. So I really wanted to only bulk produce some niche stuff and be smart about it. This is me going through that process, and I feel like I did those final 13 levels very reasonably, doing the alternative method. And you can do it this way from 1 to 100, but you're going to start burning a lot of good materials that I personally would rather have stockpiled and ready to use for past 100 usage. I emptied my crate and I have all of my materials I've been hoarding so far in the game. I pressed triangle and I opened Restore Fatigue as my only filter because that's still what I want to level up on to get started with the grapes. And I want to go through this list of materials and find stuff that I don't care about, like the pumpkin. To reflect damage is really nice, so I'm not going to do that one. Tobacco works. And I just want to get rid of my grapes. And those 100 extra grapes are gone. I'm at 91. I can make a bunch of cure paralysis. Now I see on the flip side that I can make 60 that can also paralyze. I'd rather just paralyze with a spell, so I'm going to get rid of all of that. I'd also rather silence with a spell, so up to 95 now. Now I want to do some random stuff that I can use, so I won't necessarily sell these. Water walking comes to mind. Oh, I got a lot of those. Another one that comes to mind is invisibility. I can do this a lot. I'm at 97 and 3/4, so I need 2.25 more levels. And I'm going to finish this doing something that I care about a lot. Restore health and restore magicka. I have a ton of flax seeds and steel blue Intaloma caps. So I got a level and a quarter out of those. And I've hit 100 alchemy as efficiently as I could possibly do it. And in the end of this process, not only did I get 100 alchemy, but I was able to take mercantile to 78 and unlock the investment feature to get plus 500 gold on merchants. Additionally, I have a lot of useful potions with Restore Magicka and Restore Health. I can get better ones if I had better alchemy equipment, but for right now at my stage in the game, this is also very helpful. Once you have hit level 100, your ability to get the higher end alchemy gear is level dependent. Now, this save is still level 2. I haven't slept in a bed other than one Mage's Guild quest. So I cannot do any better than the apprentice level. But if you are level 17, Master will begin appearing in dungeons, and various levels below that you can also get the stuff in dungeons, and everything below Master can be bought in a store once you're high enough level. But I'm going to show you how to get Master level once you are level 17. Moss Rock Cavern, right above the Imperial City, is a great place. You want to drop a hard save outside and then enter. And when you get in the cave, you just hit this chest first. It can have it, but it's not likely. You want to hug the left wall and come back here. This chest. It had one, but it was the wrong rank. So that's no good to me. Reload number 11. Nope.
To arms! To arms!
Nope. Wow, there it is. The Master Alembic. On 11 reloads, you can get it from this crate. So now I'm going to clean everything out and just take everything. You can go to a different location and wait 72 hours and then come back and the dungeon will be refreshed and you can repeat there, or you can go to other Conjurer and Necromancer dungeons. The better options are the ones you go later in the Mage's Guild story quest. They have more boss chests that have a high probability of spawning the Master Gear. But that one is a really basic and fast one that I highly recommend, and that's the one that I did. So now you are a Master Equip, level 100 Alchemist. You can do whatever you want now. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful, and I will see you again soon, my friends.